So you're thinking about moving to Bakersfield and you need to know the lay of the land. Well, the zip codes are how we do everything here. If you've been on this channel for more than a minute, you know zip codes are what we talk about all the time. This week is no different. We're touring 93314. I've got acreage to show you. I've got $1 million properties to show you, and I've got new construction all within 93314. You're gonna get to see what I'm talking about on this video. 93314 Bakersfield zip code tour coming right up. Hey there, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new to this channel, I am Angel Przybylski, your local Bakersfield realtor. If you're not, hey, welcome back. If you are new, hi, I'm happy to meet you. I am here week after week showing you what it's like to move to Bakersfield, be a part of this incredible community, and call this place home. We talk zip codes all day, every day on this channel, and this week is no different. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that I know you're here and that YouTube knows you're here and everybody gets happy. A call, a text, an email. We'll get that process started. My team and I would love to help you get qualified, figure out what you can buy, and figure out where in town you might potentially want to buy. I'm excited to show you the 93314 zip code. So to refresh your memory, Bakersfield is all 933. And then when you need to drop your zip code for whatever reason at the grocery store or Ross or wherever they need it, they say, what's your zip code? You just have to say like 081412. And that basically just answers the question. The 933 is assumed. So the thing about 93314, in my opinion, I have not done all the data and the research. I just live here and I know my community. So take my word for it. 93314 has the largest amount of $1 million properties. Case in point. Fun fact about 93314, earlier in 2024, the month of February, we had 12 properties that closed. We had more than 12, but 12 of the properties that closed were over $1 million. Okay. And then of those 12, 40% of them were bought in cash and they closed in the month of February. So everybody was like, what's up? Well, I can tell you this, a large percentage of those, I want to say 40% of that, they were in the 93314 zip code. Can I get a yes and an amen for that weird stat?
Amen.
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 All I'm here to tell you is that a very large portion of higher end properties are located in the 1-4. There you go. There's the short version of that story. All that to say, let me show you some 1-4. Okay, so as I've said, we are getting a hold of some new construction. Manorwood is a gated community. We've got the Legend Estates. We've got Silverado Estates. We've got Harvest Ranch. We've got Harvest Manor. And then we've just got regular old neighborhoods that are being built and people live in. Just to give you an idea, usually when you say like, oh, I live in Legend Estates or I live out in Silverado, you're also saying I live in the 1-4. It's just kind of more shorthand for you when you move here. Manorwood is in the 1-4 and it is a gorgeous community. Then there's what I call Manorwood Light, but it's not Manorwood Light. It's called Manorwood Square, but there's still higher end properties. They also start in the high 7s and go up to $1 million. In Manorwood, they go over $1 million, but Manorwood Square, they tend to be just under $1 million. So you've got a nice little window there. Let's talk about Harvest Manor. Harvest Manor is out off of Heath and Blackhawk. You would drive right by it if you didn't know it was there. You'd be like, oh, here's the community. So there's a lot of larger lots, like you're looking at a half acre out there. You're looking at multiple 3-car garages, lots of agriculture in and around. So your community might at one time have been, an orchard. And then whatever happened, they sold that and then they're gonna build some houses on it. So you could be right up next to an orchard on some of these neighborhoods. Some of the bigger cross streets out in 1-4 are going to be Callaway, Meacham, Heath, Allen. On this channel, we've also done a tour a long time ago. I did Masterpiece Estates. That's over at Brimhall and Allen. And that is another gated community in the 1-4. It just is a higher end price point. It's a higher end part of town. Then 93314 kind of like does a weird left turn in town and it goes up into the northwest part of town. Generally speaking, 93314 is out on the west side, out off of Stockdale Highway, out off of, Heath Road, Renfro, way out heading toward the 5. Well, then all of a sudden it kind of just does like this little whoop, and there's a whole section of it in the northwest. So you're going to be over off of Etchart, Callaway, heading toward Gossamer Grove. Gossamer Grove, we did a video on, and that is also in Shafter. So 93314 kind of goes all the way up to 7th Standard. So we've talked about 7th Standard, and then on the other side of that is Gossamer Grove, but that's not 14. 14 ends right at 7th Standard. So that kind of does this little weird left turn, and then you get the rest of the 14. That's where we've got Snow Creek, and that price point can be anywhere from $550 up to $700. Since we are talking neighborhoods, and when you do a nice little Google search, crime comes up. I am not denying that we don't have crime here. I'm not gonna lie to you on my channel. What I will do is suggest that you do some research. It's all over the internet for you to find out what your level of safe is. Is 93314 a safe neighborhood for you? I have no idea, but you do, and you can go to the description in my video, and there's a link there, and it will direct you to the 3 top websites for you to do the research, for you to find out oh, this is no big deal, or oh, heck to the no, we're not moving there, or okay, I'm loaded up and safe. We're gonna be okay if something happens. That is for you to decide. That I've said several times, I cannot tell you what a safe neighborhood is. That is for you to do, and everybody's level of safe is different. And so I want you to do that. That is in the description below. Feel free, it's all yours. Go for it. Now, what do we do in the 93314? Obviously, we've talked about you're gonna have some agriculture to contend with. So if you've got allergies, you're gonna be front and center with them when they're shaking the trees. If you're out there by what is going to be some orchards, if they are harvesting land for planting some alfalfa or whatever the case may be, you're going to be front and center for some of that. So just keep that in mind. There's a whole new development out there off of Stockdale and Heath. It's called Stockdale Ranch. We did the video where we talked about the DeWars, the new DeWars. The new Westdale Market is going to be out there. Westdale is a local shop where you can go and get local meats and local sellers, like local spices. You can get some Luigi stuff there. They just sell a lot of local stuff there, just like at Sully's, where we've talked about before. So 93314 is just bustling with things for you to do with your family, for you to have a really nice community to be a part of, and for some new development that's happening out there. We've got the Westdale Park. You've got the Westdale North neighborhood. We've talked about that one. That is also in the 14. Talus Ranch. You've seen me talk about that neighborhood. That is also in the 14. So the 14 goes way out west of town, and it's getting closer and closer and closer to the 5. But right now it's just kind of eking out. There's a lot of new construction out there. Some of the other communities that we're talking about that are upwards of, 700 and up, over $1 million properties. Talladega, that's another neighborhood that we've toured. And Silver Oak is another neighborhood. The Silver Oak neighborhood and the Talladega neighborhood, those properties, generally speaking, have 3-car garages, the RV. Those are the $1 million properties that you're gonna get just a ton of land and a just giant house and a big old backyard. And those communities, I know for a fact, have these really fun golf cart tours and games and events, because there's like parks in both of them. So Silver Oak especially, there's a Silver Oak Park, really great park for for you to go and hang out with your kids and stuff. But then like on 4th of July and some of the other holidays, they have water fights. So you get in the neighborhood tour, and you can either be on the golf cart and getting soaked, or you're on your front yard and you're soaking some of the golf carts that go by. So I know for a fact Silver Oak is a great community. Also, starting at about $850 and up, that community is going to be one that is a higher end price point as well. Also up off of Callaway and Etchart are the $1 million properties, but they don't have a fancy name like some of the other ones, like Manorwood and Silverado Estates and Legend Oaks. Like there's no name. They're just $1 million properties up there in the northwest, out in the 14, where it makes that left turn. Like I said, easy access to going to boating. If you wanted to go out to Buena Vista Lake, if you wanted to jump on the 5 to go north or south, you're closer to the 5 actually than you are the 99. So a lot of people that live in the 14 just get where they need to go using the 5. And within a lot of these shopping centers, you know, we've got another Sully's being built out there at the Stockdale Ranch. Some of the other shopping centers that already exist, like the one at Brimhall and Allen, there's a Body Exchange. So like, you know, they're developing the neighborhoods and then they're putting some of the stuff that we all know, like, and want to use. Some of the local restaurants like Bootleggers is over there. So you're going to have a lot of opportunity to meet your neighbors at some of the, you know, the restaurants that are at the community shopping center. Then there's also the Rancho Grande that we've talked about. That's a local hangout for some of the influencers that live here in town. So if you are looking for luxury real estate and buying $1 million property or somewhere close to $1 million property, chances are high we're gonna land you out in the 1-4. So what do you think about 93314? Leave me a comment, again, a nice one, about what you think about that neighborhood and that part of town, because it's growing. There's a ton of properties out there. If that is what you would like, I would love to help you call this place home and purchase one of those homes out there in the 1-4. I look forward to seeing you around town.